What game should I play? The Wind Waker. Too unique. Ooh. Forbidden West? Ugh, too much content. Tears of the Kingdom. Too ambitious. Ugh. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Too creative. Halo 3? Too good. I just want to play a simple, under-the-radar, short and fun game. Wait a second. It's right here. It's perfect. This is it.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Oh, hey guys. So video games. Can we just pretend that didn't happen? Video games, what can be considered the best pieces of media, are always so anticipated for and always bring so much attention to themselves. Well, sometimes games can go flying over our heads. Holy sh! I didn't mean. Sometimes games can go flying over our heads. And usually that's for obvious reasons, like the game is bad, or a game that's been hyped up falls short of critic and player expectations and therefore gets pushed aside and ignored by everybody. But there is another scenario. Sometimes, in certain situations, well, actually more common than you would think, genuinely good, simple, fun games will get overlooked. And now it's time to insert my childhood game that is also genuinely good and fun. The Hobbit, that was pretty overlooked in 2003 with very few knowing of its existence. It's very disappointing that this kind of stuff happens, but with how many games that get released these days, it's understandable. But 2003? How could we let this happen? And by we, I mean everyone but me, because I wasn't born yet. I probably just made a lot of people feel very old, and for that, I apologize, but what were you doing in the year 2003? Now, obviously, for this game to be considered what I call a hidden gem, it has to be good. And it is, and most of the rest of this video will be me showing you why it's a good game and why retro game enthusiasts should consider it. So, to get a really good feel for something, you have to focus your senses. So, let me go ahead and try this out as soon as I get it properly tied. Alright, now where did I put the game? Where is it? No, I can't find it. No, where am I? What's happening? No. Oh god. Where am I? Oh. Where am I? So apparently the term game feel is not literal and refers to the feeling of how a game controls or plays. Also, don't ask. To be honest, game feel is not where The Hobbit shines. This game feels very jank very often. The way Bilbo moves and jumps around is not fluid, and there is no sense of momentum, which just makes it feel awkward sometimes. Especially when you get to a section with platforming, it's just like, jump, adjust camera, jump. All the while hoping you don't push too little or too hard on the joystick to send Bilbo to his death. I think the level design helps with the jankiness of it because I feel like overall it's designed to give enough room and time to think about it for the player to make every jump. But that still doesn't change how weird it feels, and sometimes the level design doesn't help at all. And the camera controls in this game always make it difficult because it can be very resistant sometimes when I'm just trying to line up my jump. This game doesn't feel the best to play, but there are some instances where the jank helps to improve the gameplay, like in combat. The way you're technically supposed to play it is, target an enemy and either throw rocks or go in for melee attacks, and there is a way to block attacks when you're backing up, but if you're a person that likes to mess around with the controls of a game, even if it's janky, then you'll realize how efficient it is to just awkwardly jump around and spam attacks. You do have a special jump attack that has to charge up, but when it's not charged, you can still swing your sword in midair, and because of how broken and janky jumping is, you can quickly move around when you're jumping to avoid attacks and then quickly go back in for the assault. This sounds absolutely broken and poorly designed, but I think it makes the game more fun because when you mess around and experiment with the controls, you can find a better way to fight. The game unintentionally encourages experimentation with its janky controls, and I think that's just both funny and just plain fun. Of course, for most everything else, the janky jumping and movement makes things worse, but not to a great enough extent to turn you away from the adventure. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be really seeing with this, but, you know.
That's not what GameScope means.
What? I can't get anything right today. Also, again, don't ask. Game's scope, while not being huge for The Hobbit, is what makes this game shine. The combination of features, game mechanics, and level design is what makes this a great game that should have never been ignored. The way levels are designed is really good. You'll find these purple gems leading you to where you need to go, and they fill up your meter above your health, and when you fill it up all the way, you get another health bubble. You can also find these gems all around more hidden parts of levels, encouraging you to explore every inch of each level, so you can get all the good stuff you need. You'll find chests throughout levels, with some opening with no hassle, while others require you to play a lockpicking minigame that's all about proper timing. From these chests, you can get potions to heal you or cure you of poison, and you get silver pennies which you can spend at the shop vendor at the end of each level, where you really have to think about what you want. You can get even more potions, or you can save up enough to get stronger potions that heal you, give you extra protection, and make you resistant to poison. Or you can upgrade your potion stash to carry more, or you can upgrade your rock stash to be able to use ranged weaponry even more, or you can buy Waters of Fortitude if you save up enough to give you a permanent health bubble, or you can buy skeleton keys. The shop vendors really force you to think about what you need. Maybe you keep running low on health and need more potions, but you can also save up to carry more of them, or maybe you're not good at the timing games for chests and want to be able to open difficult chests with ease. Or maybe you like to use rocks a lot and want to carry more. I mean, that sounds so simple, but it really is effective because you never have enough to get all the things you want, so you have to think about what you want one level at a time. But do you even want to buy some of these consumables, or do you want to take a chance that you'll find more in chests in the next level, which really gets you to think? All these rewards you get from chests are more than worth the effort because they just keep stacking up when you find more and more, making exploring around levels to find secrets very fun. You can also get other amazing rewards like scrolls to give you bigger combos when using melee weapons, or charged attacks, or scrolls to increase rock damage to make ranged fighting more viable. These chests, items, and on top of all of that, side quests you can take up for the dwarves to earn even more, make for an amazing gameplay loop that keeps you engaged in the levels and wanting to keep going to the next ones to find even more. The level design is really good and really well thought out, with everything placed in specific, careful positions to make the game more fun and give it a better flow. And while I said the controls feel very awkward and jank, the levels seem designed with that in mind, so even the platforming sections where you're jumping around is fun while maintaining a certain level of difficulty. Yeah, there's more that I can go into with this game's scope, but I need to move on. You want the plot of The Hobbit? You haven't read the book or seen the movies? You haven't just heard from other people or online? Well, if you don't want to live under a rock anymore, then just go look up the Cliff Notes or something, because I don't really feel like giving you the plot of The Hobbit.
I guess the only other thing I wanted to talk about with this game is the art style, which is trying to replicate the look of the old Hobbit cartoon, while also trying to look more serious because, I mean, come on guys, this isn't a cartoon, this is a video game, this is serious!
Fun fact! Did you know that if you drank hydrochloric acid, you would fucking die?
This came out during the time of the Lord of the Rings movies, and they could have tried to mimic the art style to look more like the movies in some way, more realistic, but because it was probably easier and also a better, more unique stylistic choice, we got this. The art style looks colorful when it needs to, bleak when it needs to, and overall just gives the game a unique feeling, and makes me question why nobody noticed this game in the first place. In terms of everything else, the bosses are pretty good, the stealth missions are pretty good, but are much better when you get the One Ring. And the characters are pretty good, because, it's The Hobbit. There's also some puzzle solving in a few levels, with some levels giving you a relaxing time, and others giving you all the fighting you could wish for. The game does this cool storytelling section to explain how you got to the next area or checkpoint when you finished a level. Overall, while this game doesn't have a ton, or, just honestly, not a whole lot, what it does have is fun and makes for a great, short, and sweet experience.
Well, that's The Hobbit. A little hidden gem amongst all the other good games that went unnoticed or were judged too harshly at first. It's a shame these kinds of things happen, but at least for a lot of these games we can discover how good they are and give these games some long overdue recognition. And of course, with everybody having their own unique gaming experiences, everybody can have their own hidden gem or game that they can find the fun in, even if nobody else understands it. So, the next game I'm going to try to sell you on is this epic game called Publix Preschool Pals.